Hello, it's Teacher Christy back again, back with the topic of the day by popular request. Rotten apples. Oh, we all hate it. What do? We go, we look on our parent feedback, we're all excited because we did a great job yesterday, and we see that 2 or 1 or 3 with no comment, or with a comment that doesn't even make sense, like we, started a fire in the classroom. It's our worst nightmare. I have a love-hate relationship with the Apple system because I love hearing the feedback. I love hearing the constructive suggestions. I love connecting with the parents in that way. But that sometimes can be a real difficult thing for us to handle. First thing, rule number 1, you get that negative feedback, you read it a couple times, and then you leave. You go find your drug of choice. You go find a cup of coffee. You go find some wine. You go for a walk. You find your dog. You cuddle with your spouse. You walk away. Look me in the eye. Walk away. Because what will happen is if we respond to that in our reactionary place, if we get upset, if we get, it's very vulnerable what we do. And it feels so personal. And if you respond from that way, it's not going to go well for you on many levels. My suggestion, don't go putting on Fresh Desk. Don't go putting on the forum. Just walk away. After you've walked away, you've calmed down, you've read all your other great kids, take a look at the feedback and view the video. View the video from the beginning to the end and look for anything that you can identify that would be any kind of justification for this particular feedback. For example, I did get a 3-star feedback one day, and I was really upset, and I went back and looked at the video. I did a good job. I did all the things I normally did. I was engaged, except that I had a back problem that day, and so I was sitting like this, teaching like this, and it's hard to look, energetic like this. And so you look at it and you go, oh, that was okay. They can't they can't understand why I was sitting like that. You take that suggestion, fair or not, and you deal with it. If you have feedback that you think is not accurate or not fair, here's what you do. You watch that video from forward to back, and you write out a fresh desk ticket. In this fresh desk ticket, you want to be very specific. I've got this feedback on this day. Here was my experience with the class. I don't feel like this class deserves that feedback. I'm proud of the work that I did, and I feel like it meets the Vipkid standards. I'd really like someone to evaluate it. From this email, from this fresh desk ticket, the biggest advice I can give you, please listen to me. Be proactive, be calm, be rational. This company can be they're very, very logical and very much looking to be fair to all people involved. And if we treat them like that way from the outset, then you're going to get a much better response. If you look at the fresh desk and how reactionary people are, and they're reacting from an emotional place, they're reacting from an it's not fair place, and they're reacting from it's not right place, you won't get anywhere. I don't think it translates well in Chinese. I know it doesn't translate well in the company culture. If it all seems like you're not willing to take responsibility for your part, you generally will automatically get nowhere. So you calm place. I reviewed it. Here's what I saw. Here's what I think. I write down, here's my experience with that class. The times that I've gotten bad feedback, a lot of times were classes where the kid was just being a monster and there was nothing else I could do. I'll write that. There was nothing else I could do. I'd like suggestions. On occasion, once or twice, it's been the kid was having an evaluation. The kid did terrible on the evaluation. So you write the fresh desk what you think it is. You say, I really appreciate someone to review it. Again, my experience is they're incredibly fair. What you'll do is you get a fresh desk ticket back that says we reviewed your tape. We either agree or disagree. If they agree with you, and every time except for that one, they've said we don't see it, they will invalidate the score. They will not currently invalidate the text. That's just their policy. They don't want to betray parents that way. But at least invalidating the score is meeting us halfway and meeting us in between. So be proactive in how you do that. Be willing to take responsibility. My experience, and here's what I think, that if you approach it from a it's not my fault place, you're going to get an automatic negative reaction. And I think it's probably cultural. So take responsibility. And if you come back and they uphold it and you still don't agree, go back and review the tape, look for what they said, send them an email back that says, I looked at it again, I don't see this. help me understand. If you see them as your friend, as working with you, not necessarily being on your side, but working with you, you're going to get very far in your requests with the company. They get so many reactionary emails, I'm guessing, that that kind of email is going to get you nowhere. So you go through the steps. And then what you do is you take it and you learn. If it's an ongoing problem, I had a regular one who did like 16 for Apple feedbacks for me, and it was a regular problem. I continued to email them. I continued to say, this is affecting my score. And you can ask directly for the Chinese lead teacher, contact the parent, which I did in that time. So please have the Chinese lead teacher contact the parent. Have them contact the parent and find out what it is I'm doing and how I can change and how I can get better. Or communicate to them that there are 10,000 more teachers that you can book. And we did eventually resolve that case. They did invalidate all of that feedback because, you know, from their perspective, why would you keep contracting with a teacher that you thought was dissatisfactory or just average? So that no longer affects my score. It is a policy that the score won't be affected for more than 90 days. If there's a score that's still affecting it for 90 days, they don't take it off automatically now. So you do a fresh dust ticket. You say, please remove this from my score. And they'll do it because that's policy. It's just saying this is policy. So you just put that in there and you just work with them. And they won't remove the written text. They don't want to betray parents, but they will take that score into account. And then what you do, you look at all the positive feedbacks and touchy-feelies and the cute little kids, and you move on. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. This is a tough job. It's tough to meet the parents of someone of a different culture. You learn, and you move on. I'm not sure if this is helpful. I hope that it is. This is the best I got on rotten apples. I'm sorry if this has happened to you. But it will. It happens to all of us. Okay. See you next time.